Hello and welcome to the analysis of the Hindu newspaper dated October 30th, 2022. In this video, we are going to talk about just two important newspaper articles. These articles are going to be very important, very significant from the civil services examination point of view. But it doesn't discard the fact that other articles were not important. Here's a list of other important newspaper articles which are very important also, but you can read out of them. These articles do not require that kind of explanation which the two articles which we are going to discuss are going to require. Alright, so now let's start this video, but before that, do subscribe to this channel and press the bell notification to get all the important updates of whatever we put on this channel. And you can also join us on Telegram to get all the important PDFs important for the civil services examination. If this is very clear, let's move ahead to the first important newspaper article. Now, this particular newspaper article is regarding a variety of rice which is known as Kalanamak rice. And why is it in news? Because it holds a geographical indication tag, and apart from it, it is being promoted by the UP government as well. Now, the Indian Agricultural Research Institute has come up with some of the new varieties. So, we are going to discuss all of this in this video. Alright. Now, Kalanamak is a traditional variety of paddy with a black husk and strong fragrance. That is, it is kind of black in color. It has a black husk, which is the coating around the rice. Alright. Now, it is considered a gift from Lord Buddha to the people of the Sravasti when he visited the region after enlightenment, and it is all said to get a new look, and the name, its name is going to change now. It's more likely that it is going to be named as Buddha rice, all right, so as to give it more market value. Now, when we talk about this particular Kalanamak rice, then it is grown in 11 districts of the Tarai region of northeastern Uttar Pradesh and in Nepal. The traditional variety has been prone to lodging. And what does lodging mean? Lodging means that it falls down. It is very high. The height is more, and due to this reason, this particular variety is not able to breed more. It is not able to produce more. Now, its reason, and it is the main reason, that is, lodging is the main reason behind its low yield. And now, what is lodging? Lodging is a condition in which the top of the plant becomes heavy because of the grain formation, and the stem becomes weak and the plant falls on the ground. This is what is the meaning of the lodging. All right. So now, addressing the problem, now the Indian Agricultural Research Institute has tried to address this problem, and it has successfully developed two dwarf varieties of the Kala Namak rice. If you do not have a very long stem, if you have a very strong stem, then this variety is going to survive more. It is not going to have the problem of lodging, right? Now, these varieties have been named. Two varieties have been developed, and these varieties have been named as Pusa Narendra Kalanamak 1638 and Pusa Narendra Kalanamak 1652. Alright, so these are the two varieties which have been developed by the Indian Agricultural Research Institute, and the yield of the new varieties is double that of the traditional variety. This is the purpose of this developing this particular variety, that is to double the yield. Alright, so now the traditional Kalanamak rice is protected under the geographical indication tag system. And what does it mean? We are going to discuss that it receives some kind of protection. Alright, and what kind of protection? Let's discuss this. Now, GI tag is explained by the WTO agreement on, that is TRIPS. It is explained by TRIPS in Article 22.1. Article 22 section 1. Now, the definition of the GI tag is that indications which identify a good as originating in the territory of a member. Now, it belongs to a territory. It comes from a region or a locality in that territory where a given quality, reputation or characteristic of the good is essentially attributable to its geographical origin. It means that if it origins in that particular region, then it is going to have a better quality. that particular variety is going to have better quality. And in this case, the northeastern UP provides the Kalanamak rice, and comes under the GI tag. Now it will get some of the benefits. Now this Kalanamak rice will get some of the benefits. Now we'll discuss what are the benefits of getting a GI tag. So the first one is legal protection to the products. Now it will get legal protection as well. Now it prevents unauthorized use of the GI tag products by the others. Others cannot sell by the same name, that is Kalanamak rice, by any means. Now it helps consumers to get quality products of desired trades and is assured of authenticity. If you are going to give it a GI tag, it means that it is assured of authenticity as well. And apart from it, it promotes the economic prosperity of producers of the GI tag goods by enhancing their demand in national and international markets. Now the product has received the GI tag. It means that it is of high value, it is of very high value, and it is of better quality. Now it means that national and international markets, in the buyers in the national and international markets are going to buy this product because they are sure of the authenticity. Now these are some of the benefits of the GI tag. So in this article, what we have discussed about the Kalanamak rice, where it origins, what is its historical importance, and what is geographical indication tag that the Kalanamak rice receives, and what are the benefits of the GI tag. So if this is very clear to you, let's move ahead to the next important newspaper article. Now this particular newspaper article is regarding the doctrine of pleasure. Now there is a tussle going on in the state of Kerala between the governor and the government. Alright, so now let's discuss what is going on in Kerala. Now Kerala governor, that is Arif Muhammad Khan, and the state government have major differences over the multiple issues. Now what are the issues? So the first one is the latest controversy which has arisen after he sought the resignation of the several VCs following a Supreme Court judgment. What is the Supreme Court judgment? We are going to discuss it as well. But before that, there is also another controversy which is regarding a minister, that is the state's finance minister, who happens to be K.N. Balgopal. The governor has sought his dismissal from his cabinet, declaring that he has withdrawn the pleasure of having him in the council of minister. Now let's test the legality of this particular context. Alright, in this context. Now what is pleasure doctrine? The pleasure doctrine is simply a concept derived from English common law, made by the English. This particular pleasure doctrine means that Crown can dispense with the service of anyone in its employ at any time, which means that Crown can take you out of the service at any point of time if it deems you unfit for that service. And if we consider it in Indian context, then the Article 310 of the Constitution says every person in the defense or service of the Union holds office during the pleasure of President, and in the case of the civil services in the states, they hold pleasure under the they hold office under the pleasure of the governor. All right. In the central employment, they hold office under the pleasure of President, and in case of the state, they hold office under the pleasure of the governor. This needs to be kept in mind. But there is a big but which has been put by Article 311. Now Article 311 imposes restrictions on the removal of a civil servant. And what are these restrictions? It provides for civil servants being given a reasonable opportunity for a hearing on the charges against them. They are allowed to speak for themselves before their dismissal. Alright, now there is also a provision to dispense with the inquiry if it is not practicable to the hold one, and if it is not expedient to do so in the interest of the national security. And apart from it, in practical terms, the pleasure of the president is referred to the pleasure of the union government, and in case of the governor's pleasure, it is the state government. All right, now what else we have? Now under Article 164, the Chief Minister is appointed by the Governor and the other ministers are appointed by the Governor on the CM's advice. So it's not the pleasure of the Governor, it's the pleasure of the present state government. Alright. Now it adds that this particular article, and it also adds that ministers hold office during the pleasure of the Governor. Now in a constitutional scheme in which they are appointed solely on the CM's advice, the pleasure referred to is also taken to mean the right of the CM to dismiss a minister. So he holds office, a minister holds office under the pleasure of the Governor, but the Governor do not has any discretionary power to dismiss a minister. All right. Now, how did the Supreme Court say, what did the Supreme Court say on one Vice Chancellor's appointment? Now, it so happened that Dr. M.S. Rajeshri was appointed as the VC of the APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University. Now, the catch over here was that the Supreme Court held that her appointment was contrary to the regulations of the UGC, and that is why she was asked to leave or abdicate her post. Now, the particular infirmity was that the search committee had identified only one candidate and recommended the name to the Chancellor for appointment. And who is the Chancellor? Chancellor is the Governor. Alright. So, now only one name was recommended to the Governor, but the UGC regulation says that a panel of 3 to 5 names should be recommended, and out of them, Chancellor should have option to choose from them, but only one name was recommended, and that is why she was asked to abdicate or leave her appointment. Alright. So now the Governor in his capacity as the Chancellor of the universities responded by directing the VCs of 9 universities which to resign the very next day, and he said that the infirmities he contended that the infirmities pointed out by the Supreme Court in one of the cases also vitiated to their appointments, because all other appointments according to him were only one name recommendation. Now Mr. Khan noted that the Apex Court had declared that an appointment not in the line with the UGC regulations would be ab initio void, that is invalid from the very beginning. He thought of it like that. And he highlighted the fact that each of those appointments were either made on a single basis of single recommendation or were recommended by a panel in which the Chief Secretary was a member. And this is contrary to the regulations that say its members should be persons of eminence in the field of higher education. So he considered that if you are recommended by a panel in which the Chief Secretary was a member, then that appointment is also ab initio void. Alright. So now, however, when the communication was challenged in the Kerala High Court, this particular communication, the dismissal of, or he was asking the resignation of the 9 VCs. When this communication was challenged in the Kerala High Court, what happened is that the Governor converted his directive into the show cause notices to the VCs to explain how their appointment were not illegal. He is now asking to the VCs that why they should not be dismissed or how their case is not illegal. And later such notices were also sent to 2 more VCs. So there's a lot of tussle which is going on between the Governor and VCs. What's important is the important articles like the 311, 310, Article 164. Now these hold importance. You need to know what's the pleasure doctrine, and apart from it, you need to know what are the UGC regulations regarding it. And that's it. Alright, that is all you need to know. You need not to go into the political scenario of it or how it is there. Alright, this is beyond our course. We will not discuss the political issues. We will discuss the issues which are regarding the constitution only. Alright, and we will go by whatever the directions the Supreme Court and the High Court says. Alright, so this is it regarding this particular newspaper article, and this is it for the day. Thank you from my side. Do like and share the video and subscribe to this channel. Have a good day. Bye.